There was a time, the penny whistle.
Yeah, the penny whistle
Yes.
bands. And these guys used to wear like skirts, some Scottish skirts.
Okay, got you.
And they would, and then they had a guy who played into the drums, and one that's another bass drum, and they would come more conning. When he comes there, he says to me, "I've come to pick you up." And I said, "Give him with that." There was a meeting go boarding these past few days, and the board has agreed, and they want you to go to the US next year.
To do what?
This is December.
So next year is in a few weeks.
Yeah. America. What's a malisponon?
King David Studio podcast.
Where's Mom Letter at this time?
No, hi.
You still?
Yes. I'm alone. Hey. Yeah. And then Hugh's got a piano player. Happy a grand Hugh until and say about it's a more lindagiting more. Italy pina and so and so. And then piano player I like Paul Neves.
Yes.
So Paul Neves are you write all this music and you can't read? No. And you can't play the piano, but some of the stuff you write is wow. No, but you know what? So the stories are going to it. And Paul about it, wow. But I know a guy because they begin, and I asked them about, is there somebody who can teach me, at least even at my age? About it, I know a guy who can teach you at your age.
Yes. Who's that guy?
Who's that? There's a guy, he's a jazz pianist. Good teacher also. He's an instructor. And his name is, his name will come.
Yeah.
About it until Hall Overton.
Okay.
His name is Hall Overton. I'll take you to him, And then he did until he made an appointment and he said, I spoke to Hall Overton. I explained your problem to him. So he wants to meet you.
Yeah.
Come over. So I went to Paul Overton. He was there. He was a kind of middle age, maybe 50-something.
Yeah.
50 with gray hair and so on. And then he said, Paul tells me what you can write. So play me a song. He tells me you're not a piano player.
Yes.
But there's a song that you've written, and he seems to like it. He says it's a little, can you play that song?
Yeah.
And we get it, okay. Then, and he was looking at me and saying, that's incredible. Why are some of the chords you play? A lot of pianists don't use them, but the way you use them, they work.
There comes that Jonas Gwango's commentary.
And they work.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. And you can't play the piano at all. Can you read? No. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Because you do play what you hear. This is very important. You play what you hear. I'm going to teach you to write what you hear.
Oh.
So that you don't have to sing it to somebody. You can give them the chart.
There you go.
Of what you have written. How's that?
There's somebody who's identifying how to teach you.
Yeah. He's an instructor.
Yes.
So now he knows, he sees the deficiencies. So how do you overcome that deficiency? Or how do you correct it?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's now 27, this person.
Yes.
26.
Yes.
No, you can't start him from ding, dong, like children. Already this person writes chords that even...
intricate chords.
And that's time the rhythms. No, he has to learn how to write what he hears.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going to teach you.
Jeez.
And unfortunately, I would take you for a whole year, maybe 2 years, and I'll work with you. but I can't. I'm an instructor. And besides that, I've been given a task of transcribing Thelonious Monk's works.
Yeah, man. So I'm busy, basically.
I'm very busy.
Yeah.
And if you know, do you know Thelonious Monk? Yes, I've listened to, you know how he plays.
Yeah.
You know the kind of things he does.
Yeah.
They're not easy.
Jeez.
So the amount of work I have to do to transcribe that music is amazing. So I need the time. So I won't have that time, but I have this open window of 3 months.
Whoa.
3 months, 4 months.
Yes.
By then, if you work hard, and we work hard, at least you'll get the fundamentals of writing.
Whoa.
Okay?
How are you feeling at this stage?
I'm feeling actually very exuberant.
Yes, that's the word.
At least if I can just learn that. Anyway, here's a list. Create this eraser, this kind of pencils, and this kind of music book, and then let's meet on such a day. Then, long story short, we met that day. He said, okay, now we're going to start with rhythm. I've got to teach you rhythms, how to write rhythms. And we went through that.
Wow.
Pa, 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 until the rhythm. Now you got rhythm. Until the second week, you've got the rhythms. You understand the things that you have to practice.
Yeah.
Now let's do the stuff now. This is G, A, B, C, D, E, E, F, G, up to here and so on, so on, so on, so on, so on. Because one thing, you understand the piano. When I do this, you know what that is.
What it is.
Yeah, so already that you know. So now, how to put those notes on the stuff itself.
Yes.
Okay? That's what we're going to do. Here's your exercise. Go home. We meet on such and such a day. Let's see what you've done. Oh, good. Wrong. Good. Go do it again. And then the following week is like, correct. You've got it. Now, next lesson, this, that.
Are you getting better and better at this stage?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Anyway, long story short, finally, one day he says to me, I tell you what, you've got a good foundation now. You've gotten to it. I'm going to give you a challenge. Your song, that Hamuleji, with all those rhythms that you do, changes times and stuff, and the chords that you play, is a difficult song.
Jeez.
I want you to write it down.
Okay.
All of it.
Whoa. And this is something you had created, but with very little knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree, he said, I'm going to teach you to write down what you hear.
Yeah.
So now write it down.
Jeez.
Are you serious? He says, yes, I am. I've given you until the foundation. That's why you're going to test yourself. Go write it down. Sure. Karula. I wrote it. Karula. The next meeting, Leona, Isaiah, I share, I bear mole.
Started playing it.
Play it. Sit there, play.
Yeah.
You see, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's right. Go back again. The rhythm. Keep going. So anyway, I bear more. And tweeted you said,
yeah.
Agree homework. Homework. So anyway, long story short, I say I bear more. And I face.
That's like you, yes.
I face. You've done it.
You've passed.
Yeah. And you've written your song. You've done it. I played it.
Because it means if you can do that, you can carry on now.
Yes, you can carry on.
Wow.
And
Is
now-
it anywhere in your albums? This song you're referring to?
Yeah, I think Monte, the Union.
The Union.
Yeah.
He's fetching the Union now. He's fetching
Yeah,
the
I
Union.
think.
Let's see.
Hugh, we did a caution. I can get hamulage.
Hamulage. Let me see it.
Okay.
Let me see it. Oh no, I'm holding it wrong.
Caution.
Oh, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
Mm.
Side 2, track number 4.
Mm.
In case you have the album, Union of South Africa.
Yeah.
This was the first song that you wrote with your newly acquired skill.
Yes.
And you never stopped. This was the beginning.
Yeah, that was the beginning.
Sure.
And Joe Sample plays in this song.
No
and he plays
way.
what I wrote it.
No way.
What I wrote down.
No way.
It's true.
It's a Motown released album.
Yeah.
This.
Joe Sample plays the piano
Wow.
behind us.
What you wrote.
What I wrote.
That 26, 7-year-old who didn't know how to play a piano
Yeah.
wrote something that Joe Sample played.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Mm.
I look at your career in awe because after that you never stopped writing.
No, I was encouraged.
Really?
I was really encouraged. Now I was asking boy Hugh. Hugh, no man, why is it sometimes this one agree why is it jazz?
Mm.
Jazz, most you really don't have to write all the notes down.
Yes.
Jazz, why is it ungwala if you
Yeah, you can put it back.
ungwala melody.
Yes.
Ungwala melody the way you batangate majita.
Baidlala,
Yeah. Well, and then the rest we can have did chords.
Yes.
You know, with a chord chart.
Mhm.
Chord chart. Okay. So Maroba feel how I check the chords.
They know
Your
what
piano
to play.
player will share the chords and waits and so you don't have to write only classical music where you write every note.
Yeah.
Because jazz fella
It's expressive.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
expressive.
Yeah.
But you must give them the melody way.
Yeah.
I want.
Jeez.
Okay, fine. Now, take a shower about you away something. So then agree now let out society.
Okay. Eventually brought her along. Yes.
Now she's putting eventually brought her.
How's life financially and stability
Well,
now in the States?
you know, job. I get it until after get Twitter
Mm.
in those few months. Miriam says, "Yeah, no, it's about listen to." I carry the into a guarana.
Yes.
Oh, so it's about wala sali. Miriam, I pera. Minengo sam. Find kutung parallels on a pants. I want the peanuts are transcribe so that they can publish you for publishing company.
That's it. Yeah.
Because she's been having a problem kabatuba. But sometimes abana na kwa kina vaya school.
Of course. Yeah.
So we're now free. You can take all my songs, record udule mo fatsi
and write them
down, and then hopefully say on the sheets. And he's my publishing manager.
They get registered.
Yeah, and they get registered and wako patela for every sheet you write, for every bar.
Basically.
Yeah. So I made extra money. Come on, background for
Yes. She was an important part of your stay in America.
She was.
Yeah.
She was.
Jeez.
You know?
Because with her opportunities, you were able to bring Memle.
Actually, she's responsible. She made it possible. She paid for her ticket.
What?
Yes. She did. I remember now regular ticket, but I'll work until when uzawenzimali nini. You know? Mlete manch.
Yeah. Because you were willing to wait it out.
Yeah. No, I couldn't kabona masuri. I can work. And Miriam had said, Mona, I found myself a composer.
Yeah.
You can be my teleconductor.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get travel all over, even next later.
Yes.
Yeah. I would have been here.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Conductor everywhere.
Yeah, videos, little chats.
Sure.
But she was not selfish because in Kevesela, here's an opportunity. Hugh na busy ka dio tsa gwangwa Caiphus yo, he can write, and it's recorded like a couple of his songs
already.
So he can be but he said no, it's salad.
Jeez, was she a reluctant or willing traveler, Mamlet?
No, she was. I mean, in the engaged
Okay,
and we had a son.
Yes,
yeah. And I didn't want to tell you because I spoke to a mother and to her and the mother. Well, I don't know. States. I don't know what's going to happen to me. How long I'm going to be there, and really, I would hate to be away from Yena for years. Because I have this feeling something is not right. Well, I know a lot is not right, Mochai.
Yes. Yes.
A lot is not right, and she may not reach what she should reach.
Her true potential.
Her true potential.
Yeah.
Na ke aima go ya go school. I'm going to school, definitely. So many have no route until so the still what well engage is that we will make it available.
Yes.
So egbulela Miriam abarumuti then. Kita patella tikita so when as you bereka wona chelete you pay me
you
back.
Pay me back. Have you ever paid that debt back?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
When I did a whole album, Promise.
Oh.
Wrote the album, conducted it.
Yeah.
Got some money, moyona.
So that was your payback.
That was my payback.
Wow. I think you paid way more than a plane ticket.
Which was okay for me because she encouraged me in many ways.
Yeah.
Made me feel at home.
Yes.
And then you kind of owe somebody much more than
that's true.
Than that. So when she came to Marangna Mali, Kinale only and $40,000. So to go America, that's nuts for this album. An arranger and telling no, I'll do it.
Jeez. You became a prolific writer in the States. You started working with the likes of Quincy and so forth. You're a celebrated writer in that regard. How did that even come about, a meeting with Quincy Jones?
Well, that comes, Akiri, now in New York. What happened? Hugh had me play. Now this is taking me away from school now.
Yes.
So
your acting school.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It's taking me away. But I did finish in all the courses, the semester. Yes. I finished the semesters, the 2 semesters. Okay. And the teachers were so disappointed. I have to. I can't afford it.
Yes.
I had to buy
it. There's other things you're busy with. Yeah.
But until Miriam, and now we are thinking Hugh a production company.
Okay.
Rebita Chisa.
Okay. It did exist.
Yeah, it did.
Eventually.
Yeah,
yes.
we did.
Yeah.
We did launch it. But when Rebita Cheese. 26, 27.
Yes, you're no longer young boys.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. And then here I am. Kiwala pina tam tam pam.
Of course.
Hugh walks in. Kinyo. Ibiza hali seli di khana. Are munati that recorded song. And Hugh records this song.
Yes.
For uni. Okay, until a contract. I think Miriam had arranged it until the uni. Somebody. There was a guy, Obizong Wali Amos.
Okay.
He was Hugh was with an agency, kind of in that agency. And that agency, we looked at Hugh a contract okay. I think not Warner Brothers, Universal.
Universal. Yes.
Universal. And so Hugh had the contract. So he had to come up with music.
Yeah, because now they were expecting music from him. Yeah.
So one of the songs was Aleseli de Khanna.
Wow, it's a big hit.
Yeah, but we didn't know then. So wrote this Hugh until we did it. And then now, long story short, Hugh now has to travel around the country, to promote the album. Right? And then what happens? Bamisako, California, he starts there.
Yes.
Goes to California. He's in California one time, Nago New York. call comes in. Hey, son, you won't believe what's happening. What's happening?
Yes.
Ugo guy, Los Angeles. Hey, you play game munati man.
Ora LA.
Yeah,
Yes. Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, so but on a serious note, Alisali Khanna is a big song.
Yo.
Mo California.
Mm.
What? Son, Oka Wanabatu. Kissing along.
Hey.
California.
Yes.
Alisali Khanna is big.
Sure.
You've got to calm down now.
To do what though? What did he have in mind?
Continue. If you nearly hit, you better come up listening next.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
You better come down.
Yes.
More nali miracle.
Yes.
We've got a lot of work to do here. Chisa, remember nali come.
Oh, you have this thing
Yeah.
you're doing.
Yeah, Chisa so okay. Yanike nali leta. No, nali leta. Skamutlugel.
This is a proper uprooting your New York to LA.
So Miriam is niyahamba.
Are they still together?
No,
Bakawakhan, yes.
So
Yeah.
but now I'm friends with them.
Yes, yes.
So ihamba manje ulandela you mina yangishiya. Maratse no go right into it. It's a mayampi. Mina tlabo. So repack regulate. Really neresa ro.
Yes.
The reception here, Hugh was incredible.
Yeah.
So Hugh decides, maybe when later Halimu, why into later Usabin on some songs.
Yes.
So later sings some songs there until. And then there's a guy one night later, manager, can I manage it? Yeah, fine. So later until manager can come on Hugh come on Ali Wali Amos. And then Chisa and Rikenya everything into Chisa, this company now.
You start pushing.
Right, push. Gwangwa since I look to New York.
Yes.
So Gendali Hugh.
Mom, later, does she produce an album at this stage?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay.
Ready wait a minute. Ready the first record until Ele Moropela. Got
it, yes.
Yeah, we've done that. The you.
It's incredible how all this stuff was made in America, not here.
Yes. Ropela Sisutu, Ropela
Xhosa.
America. And Americans, but it's like, yeah, man. I dig that. So
it's good, man. When they're singing along, why don't they sing along too?
Mara Hugh, I performer though. Yes. That's why I never touched the song. Yeah. Because Hugh just personalized the song.
Oh yeah, because technically, well, not technically, it's your song.
Yes,
but he made it.
He made it. Because I that's hoping I can say to enthusiastic, intellectually technical about
That's
it.
Yes.
I wrote the song. And then now I the spirit.
He gave it a personality.
I buy for personality, so I never sing it.
So now in LA, do you establish a house, a home? Do you live there now?
Rent the apartments. The apartment.
Yeah.
And then comes a time where what happened to Bidise Gwangwa, yeah, Gwangwa agreement and now it's going to New York.
Yeah.
So Rashota.
Hey, the union is not
it's not Rashota Gwangwa, but really it's a company. So comes a point some of the things are negative, they are not necessary to talk about.
Yeah.
But comes a point where we begin to outgrow each other now.
Oh no. These South African boys.
Yeah, we're outgrowing each other. The linear music is beginning to change. Hugh's got a definite line. I have a definite line.
Yes.
But okay, all right. We'll get together. So Lena is growing on her own.
Yes.
And I'm writing a lot of her music. Then there's this guy on a on a tour. Later, myself, later, so the tour went fine. Raya Kobo, the Caribbean.
Okay.
We did the
okay.
Caribbean.
Yes, yes.
So the Caribbean, ya fela eberubo. Kherwa, this guy, no, something about it to sega to until unas he messed up a lot of stuff. Eberu mutlukhela. Eberu kola that guy onekungala you Pinasa Miriam. Because he was Miriam's lawyer.
Oh, yes.
Or publisher.
I remember.
California mo. And then we really need a manager for it. About it, there's a guy called John Levy.
Okay.
Go to John Levy. Tell him I sent you. I think Neil Cohen into lawyer Miriam.
Yes.
Tell him I sent you. And then we went to John Levy. John Levy about, okay. Cohen unkolile get a manager later.
Yes.
But Cohen you write music.
Yeah.
Right? Yes, I do. You're a composer.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. So, do you know anything about publishing? No. But I've got some songs to give you Miriam and the Nekingwala publishing.
Yeah.
But for the amount of songs,
you should sort this out.
Yeah, you should have your own publishing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And I'll show you how to do it. And then he did it for me.
So even now it's still in place.
Yeah.
The very old publishing.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Semenya music.
How many songs? Well, I don't expect you to know because it's so many.
Yeah, I did not. Semenya music. So about it. And I through him, Quincy Jones. Because John Levy was known. John Levy was a bass player by profession. He had played bass for Art Tatum. I don't know if you know Art Tatum.
He's a jazz musician.
Oh, yeah. He's like the father of jazz piano.
Yeah.
So he played Art Tatum.
Wow.
From Art Tatum, he played with other people. Then he played with George Shearing, the blind white guy who played the piano.
Yeah.
Very good piano player. So John played bass for him. Came a point at some time to tell you who John Levy is. They came to a place. The guy who was supposed to manage John, I don't know, he didn't show up or he messed up the tour mobile thing. And John ended up helping George Shearing. George couldn't see, by the way.
Oh.
So as John Ali bass player, so John
playing piano.
Not playing.
Yeah.
George Shearing is a piano player. He's a jazz musician. John plays bass for him.
Okay.
They've got into it. So the manager who's managing George Shearing, the whole band, fails to arrive or who sings something. I don't have the whole story. But he messed up. So George Shearing had no manager now.
No.
And John was a very sharp guy. John took over to help George Shearing.
Yes, with the management.
With the management. Yeah. While it's our manager, it's a band, but he's doing management. So Torre fella, they go back, go New York. So John George Shearing says to John, why to the college and we have to work. I think you have to call those people and arrange everything. So John says, you want me to manage?
To manage.
Are you good at it?
And that was the beginning, I guess,
that was the beginning for John.
Jeez.
So John did that, but finally, I don't know what happened later, John Shearing. But John branched off, still kept his base, but found himself sitar manager bo Cannonball Adderley, bo Nancy Wilson, bo Rebecca Flack, bo Ntwele, and you name him.
What song did you do with Quincy?
I did the first thing. It is the music for Roots.
Okay. Oh yes, you did, because he got that the deal to do he got an Emmy to do the soundtrack. Yeah, Roots, the movie.
Yeah, so I got an Emmy too for that soundtrack. So and then it's a long story how we did it, but he called me and said he called John's office and he said, I heard you've got a young man there who's a composer of African music. So can you send him to me? And so we sing, and John says, do you know Quincy Jones? I said, yeah, I've heard of him, but I've never met him out. Well, you're going to meet him 2 days from now. The address is here. He called me. He says somebody told him, I'm managing a young man who writes African music. And that young man is you.
Let's do this.
Okay? And that's because we had already done Letambulu Sings for Capital.
Okay.
Remember that album? The very first album?
Yes.
Because Capital wanted music. They couldn't just take Leta with Ntweni. So who's going to write the music? And John says, the husband can write the songs.
And you did.
And I did.
What song stands out in that album?
Bobo Ntwele, Pula Yeta.
Okay.
Bo Ntwele, Mamani.
Oh, yes.
Mamani, Bo Ntwele. My son. So quite a few of them.
Wow.
So I wrote that.
Yeah.
So John says, so.
There's Quincy.
Yeah. So I go there. Long story short, gives me the address. I go to Quincy's home and he's there. And when I come there, Unali Ray Brown, the bass player, the very famous bass player, they are writing the music for a film together. And that film, but it's an old film. Anyway, the name will come back such a long time ago. And it says, we are doing the American music. We want you to do the African music,
side.
Okay?
Yeah.
We're going to give you the scene. We just want one scene from you.
Yeah.
Okay, it sets up the whole thing.
Okay,
so I went home. The job we got. Okay, we've got to go and sing this thing. And then it became Wala. Remember, I wrote it down. I fit the day I did in the local A&M studios where they are going to record the soundtrack. And I give him the music. He looks at it. He says, looks nice. But you're going to sing it. You're going to do it.
Yes, the whole thing, basically.
You want me to do it? You're not going to contact us? No, you do it.
Whoa.
Yeah, oh, okay. And then hey, and come on in that studio. What the giants? It's jazz. Jerome Richardson, yes.
Where am I?
But okay, so they ran the film. They ran the film. The scene comes up, and then Quincy ran it down. You see it, or you can hum it over with the scene. So I hammer, hammer. Okay, you got it. Sounds okay, and it syncs. Now let's do it. So okay, roll tape. Roll tape. I recorded.
They're reading the sheets. These jazz artists.
This Quincy will very special. Now I record the two voices.
Okay.
So you're gonna do two voice? Okay, it's fine. No, you do two voice.
Okay.
Then after that, there is a choir on what you've done. Okay. So now we do the basic. So Harry Feza, that one take Feza. Cut. It's a take.
What?
Play it back. Perfect. That's it, Caiphus.
You're done.
One take. Later.
Hey.
Standing ovation.
Wow.
We go out. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the people in there didn't think you could do it.
You did it in one take.
They were very skeptical. Somebody from Africa. And you made me very proud.
Yeah.
And then every time and I'll share about it. You'll hear from me. They hear from me is Ilahai's roots. Called me and come. Take this book, go read it. Yeah, Roots. Alex Haley.
Yes.
I gave Hala. I finished that. Good. I'll come over. Let's talk. You do the African music. I do the American music.
Jeez, how many tracks do you remember?
I think already many rains ago.
Okay.
Already a chant, which is in the film Ibula, the film itself.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, Ibula, the film itself, and then many rains ago, there is a case Yoruba, the English. In Naliana, the English part.
Okay.
Nale Quincy.
You even had to learn languages that were not native to you as a South African.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You know?
The Michael Jackson song that everybody speaks of so much, Liberian Girl, is that story true?
Yeah. Michael wrote, I get Quincy was producing him. Ghana Michael was a hell of a composer.
Yeah.
He wrote that. So like Quincy says, because Quincy has always been very, very conscious of his African roots.
Yeah.
And that's why Lansarmon, I do the American.
You do that.
You do the African.
Because he wanted it to be authentic.
Yeah. And he wanted that, that thing, the connection.
Yes.
That you and I are one. Our people are one. You know? And that's the only connection I want, where we work on something and they all say, it sounds the same. So he says, you understand, Quincy? I say, yeah. He says, yeah, let's do it. So anyway, Michael Jackson, they finished. And so Quincy says, there's something missing. You were singing about Liberian Girl.
Yeah.
But we don't hear anything Liberian.
True. There must be something from Africa.
Yeah, from Africa to finish it.
Yeah.
Well, Quincy is that kind of a producer. Michael, what do you mean? So Quincy are okay. One caller. Why did not Michael can you come? You go studio, you can buy his hand. Oh, nice. So what? So Quincy says, I don't think it should be sung. You know?
Yeah. Whatever it is that you have to do.
Yeah, but it shouldn't sing. You know. I think maybe a chant, you know. Something that's African. That somebody can say, what are they saying?
Yes.
Rather than singing. So okay. All right.
I'll figure it out.
Figure it out. Peter, go to this is what I'm telling you. I'm Mapal. So get raised out. Quincy doesn't have to be sung. Maybe a chant, maybe it was something. I don't know. But we worked out. Now, we had a neighbor, Sarah, Kenya.
Okay.
So Sarah Lena was musical now, Nabi. We tell Sarah. Sarah comes and we say, we have an idea, you know, and the idea is this. I think Redis got so to bid.
Yeah.
And Sarah, but we need Swahili.
Of course. Yes.
Sarah, okay. Then Sarah, nakupenda pia.
Nakupanda pia. Pins away, whatever
Pins
it's
away.
Yes.
I'm think about it. That's what. I call up Quincy, more phone, get Mapala, and then I repeat about, that's it. Let's do it.
And that was it.
Carolera's going to do it. Of course.
So it's Leto's voice.
So later, and then I was Michael was excited.
Yes.
Yeah. Say that again. So later, I love that. Let's do it. And then we did it. I feel like, oh man, this is just makes it.
Yes, and indeed, the song is done because that's the beginning of the song.
That's right. So rather than singing, one of Quincy is a hell of a genius.
Wow. Quick one. The Union of South Africa, why is it that it never had another album? Quick question one.
Okay. Why it never had another album? After we did the album itself, we toured, we pushed it, and people were really into the band and we were getting work.
Yes.
That's why we went to Wayne Henderson's home.
Whoa.
And mother said, bring them over here so I can give them some cooking.
I can feed them.
Yeah, very to the chitlins and stuff.
Yes.
It was nice. And so Neritora, so this time Nerluko, New York, I think Nerluko, New Jersey. Right? And Gwangwa, unfortunately, the Bronx.
Okay.
And he was crossing the street And here comes this car.
Ooh.
Hits Gwangwa. Yamushapa Moroba Lutu.
Ooh.
So Gwangwa had to be in the hospital.
So the Gwanga we know who
Yeah.
came back from
Yeah.
America on crutches, basically, is that accident.
That's that accident.
Yeah.
And it was very bad.
Ooh.
Oh, no. Because what it from Kenty did you say?
Sure.
So what you talk about Lutu, but until Nemu Shapire, man.
Mm.
Nemu Shapire.
There was more than just the
Yes,
Lutu.
yeah, it was more. You know?
No.
And I remember it's hospital and her heart,
Mm.
you know.
That's crazy.
But you know, we had a thing, Runa. Sometimes I sign also to go shapa ka patla mo. But then after it's
Yeah.
No, but it as long as
and he lived very long.
Okay. So that album now we were supposed to do, so it took months.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Now we had to make a living.
Of course, with other projects.
With other projects. And then later, and I have to write her music. I have to do something. And then Hugh, what was that you said him? So he went.
It's affecting the union.
Yeah, affecting the union.
And a question that seems political for me. The union has Hugh Masekela's name. Yeah. And then with the Union of Africa, almost making it sound like you and Tate Gwangwa were the union.
Yeah.
And then he was a separate entity, almost like Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5.
Right.
You know?
Yes. And it was my idea.
Okay.
The idea was that Hugh had done Grazing in the Grass.
Okay.
And it became number one.
Successful album. Yeah.
So now Hugh's name was out there. The union never saw start.
Yes.
So it was started, so reunion of South Africa. But then I said, it was really like brand new people.
Brand new band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're now thinking, and you've got a name.
Yes.
Why don't we use that? Hugh Masekela and the Union of South Africa. Maybe we can just say the Union of South Africa.
And move on.
Because the repeater union.
Oh, yeah.
And early on stage, Hugh Masekela and we, the Union.
Of Africa, of South Africa.
Of South Africa. So that's how it was. So Gwangwa had no problem. Until the Supremes.
Diana Ross and the Supremes.
Let's be practical.
Yeah. There's one of us who's a star.
Yeah. Into your ego.
Yes.
He's a star. We should use that.
That's it.
Yeah.
Did it help with the sale of the album?
Oh,
How did it perform?
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. It helped.
Incredible.
It did.
Your relationship with Mamleta it will always be celebrated because in your industry and the music industry, entertainment relationships don't last this long.
I know.
They have bumps. And we're talking about that Masekela, whose relationship with Miriam didn't last very long, and so forth and so forth. But yours, what in the world is your secret sauce?
No, I think, I think we met in Jenny. Talk about King Kong, I was 20.
Yes.
She was 16. So we met, we're still young.
The famous train throwing of the orange story.
Yeah. Yes. She was still young.
Yeah.
And when you fall in love with there's it's real.
Yes.
At that time, it's real. There are many things you see in each other. So I think that's the secret, because as you grow older, we can quarrel and all that, but I never had any reason I want to quit.
Yes.
And then make up and then go on.
Yeah.
Everybody even your mother. Sometimes
even your best friend.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's how it is. And then another thing is that I think and also I respected her career. And also I wanted to see her succeed.
Yeah.
To satisfy herself with her career. And I became the principal writer of her music, which gave her a certain sound for herself, a certain kind of music, which was good. I mean, she recorded Dipina Zaba, but she also preferred what I write.
She liked it.
She picked, for instance, to give an idea, she picked Music in the Air.
Who was it written for?
I was just writing. I used just to play it for myself.
Okay.
So Herbal Pet to go studio because to the Herbal Pet, we were introduced to Herbal Pet by Mayuto Correa.
Okay.
He was a Brazilian on Semenya. Mayuto used to be a people's people.
Okay.
Yeah, so
who made people meet.
Yeah. So met Herbal Pet, Herbal Pet to Tanokale Road. And then Herbal Pet, I'd like to meet them. I've heard about you. Later, we have recorded. What's happening? Later, now I'd like to record you.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's how it happened.
Jeez, Music in the Air was born.
So, now, Hotep Galeta.
Yeah.
Hotep Galeta, and I look at San Francisco. And I called him to come down so that the guys at this thing, Hotep could write to and could play. So, Herbal Petty and Pella, your music, we have to come up with something which is unusual.
That's it. Yes.
So, who is the writer?
Here he is.
Okay. So, Herbal Petty about what songs studying? So later about Manar, Pinelo Tolo is an everything. Music Agituru Vijay. Oh, that one. Oh, okay. Hebal Peter, can you play it? I'm not a piano player, but I'll play just a little bit, the way I do it.
Yeah.
But no, it's cool, I'm not a piano player myself. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I play by little things too.
Yeah.
So I became up a little, I like it. I'll get a guy who can write lyrics for us. Fano or within the lyric. Brilliant boy.
Yeah.
The following day, Mamela. But can I take it home? Yeah, take it and record a cassette.
Yes, of course.
The next thing about that, I call it Music in the Air. Check out lyric, I like it. Do you like it? Later, I like it. And that's it.
It was done.
It was done.
Incredible. your relationship is outlasted so much, in terms of the travel to the States, the coming back, and you still carry on. You are, because I called Mamleta a year ago, asked her to be a part of a show we're doing. What's this? Telcom. And I said to her, but I'd like to his business is his business. My business is my business. Is that how it's done in the family? She handles her stuff, you handle your stuff.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
There are certain things that we are together.
Yes, of course.
And there are certain things that we are separately.
Yeah.
Because I believe, Leah, she believes the entity which is herself should not die.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
When the entity which is me should not die.
So they should live separate lives.
Yeah. In terms of the business. But go through.
That's it, eh?
Yeah. And if we could buy in trouble sometimes, then I'm busy to intervene. Even though the business
of course.
Yeah, then, yeah.
How have you, how many kids did you raise in the States?
3.
3 children. And they never became American kids. Not in a little bit.
Except Sipo remained there. But we were so to everything.
Okay, okay. Because with that Masekela, Sal, the oldest boy, is completely American. That's why I always wondered how you managed, and you said it much earlier in our chat, or you controlled the language because it was so important to you. Yeah.
But you see, I raised them. All of our Hugh because Hugh was mnyali.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
they were never married.
So
they were supposed to marry,
yeah,
but they didn't. I don't know. Hugh was traveling a lot, Liena. And Jessie was a kind of woman, very conservative. She just couldn't see herself sleeping in hotel and hotel and hotel and
wanted a home.
Yeah, she wanted a home.
Yes.
And she found a guy who was a home man.
That's it, yes. Did you ever have a house in LA?
Yeah.
So you
Altadena.
And I imagine when you came back, you had to sell it.
Yeah, we sold it.
So you had an address in America.
Yes, I did.
Wow. And I'm saying this because it's many, many, many years ago.
Yeah.
We're talking in the 80s, 90s even.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Do you look at that as Ntwanago Alex, who's done really well?
Why is it not? I don't know how to put it. It's kind of difficult to look at yourself when I've done very well. I think my life is a lot attached to my people.
Yeah.
Yeah, very attached. I look at situation about Alexander, and I look at this whole thing. Then I ask myself, what have you achieved?
Oh. Yes.
Yeah.
Because if your success should be a reflection, or your people should be a reflection of your success.
Exactly.
Does that make you put pressure on you as a person? Because you are not them. You are your own entity.
Yeah, I'm my own entity. But I agree, you are an entity because of them.
True.
Yeah. They are responsible.
The music that used to play outside while you were in your room.
That's right. Yeah. So I come from a society, and all those people, even though they didn't know or they were planting something in me, are responsible for who I am.
That's it.
So for me to stand there, make it nah.
You are better.
Yeah, no way.
It can't be.
I am part of a people.
Yeah.
And what I am is them.
That's so true.
Yeah.
What do you say to the sacrifice that you, Hugh, Leta, that made the sacrifice and left this country and they didn't come back? Because even after you had studied, you could have easily come back, and you didn't, to continue and to defy against the political position of apartheid.
Yeah, because Rona, the first thing we did, we were supposed not to work with Miriam, to stay away from Miriam.
Well, that's the first thing you did.
But I did. I sang background for Miriam.
Yes.
The very first year. So after a show, the journalist would come. Is that what? Because Miriam used to talk, about the struggle and what was. So the journalist would come backstage, and there you are, the background singer. Oh, you're Mr. Semenya. You were singing background with Miriam. Yes. Is she was saying true? I mean, so, yes, it's true.
Now you become a part of the story.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not exaggerating. Absolutely not.
Jeez.
What is your experience? My experience? I'll tell you my experience.
Now you start telling of South Africa.
Right, exactly. And then it goes on the papers.
Oh, boy.
And of course, they have an embassy there. It reads the papers.
Yes.
So that guy was Muni Yikom.
That's it.
That's it.
And the comeback to 96. Is it 90, 91, 92 when you came back?
91.
91, yes. Yeah. Surely that was a special moment.
Oh, yeah. That was brilliant. I really loved it. Because one of the things that a lot of people don't know, or maybe even how we could write things Angelina
in America.
Yeah, in America, and do all the zipping como, zimkile, but keeping who we are.
Not yet Uhuru.
Well, I did it here.
Oh, you did it here?
When I was here.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's after coming back.
Yeah.
Yes, 96.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So, the reason is because every time I had a friend and Almo Kolomoro, and I was like big brother, Stanley Nkosi.
Okay.
Brother Stanley used to work. You remember Stanley Nkosi? Yeah, Brad Stanley used to send me music from home,
Whoa.
albums and so on. So I knew Bo Sakile,
Oh,
Bo
yes.
Mount.
What was happening then? Is it way before Harare and all of that?
That's around that time.
Yes.
Bo
Okay.
Harare.
Yes.
So because we used to come to Botswana a lot.
Oh, so ne le tsena le ba mo gaufinyana.
Yeah, le re ba ba gaufinyana. What? And then Brad Stanley would come. And sometimes some of the people who knew me, that's where I met Konrizi Gugu.
Okay.
That's where I met Sipo Mabuse.
Yes.
The first time I became Muko Uselata. No, Kimitile Sipo Kolisutu the first time.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, I met him Kolisutu.
Yeah.
Atanoka le Harare.
Yes.
And
or is it before they became
drums.
Harare? Actually, the album is here. The Beaters. He was.
Yeah.
Yes, the Beaters there.
No,
yes.
It's not the Beaters. I think.
Oh, they said Harare by that time.
Yeah, that's Harare then.
Yeah.
And that's another drums.
He was an amazing drummer.
Yeah, he was a drummer.
Yeah.
So that's when. So that's why, kind of 1976, when we were coming to raise funds for Bafana Black Consciousness.
Okay.
Botswana.
Yeah.
So I asked Ntwele because they could not afford for the whole band.
Okay.
So I said I met a young man Sipo Mabusa.
Bring him through.
Yeah, and they brought him through.
As your drummer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Alec was playing guitar.
Alec Raoul, yes.
Yeah, and then who else? Nelisipole Alec, because kitlele bass drama.
Okay.
And no kitlele bass. Kitlele Outep Kaleta na wapala piano.
Okay.
Kitlele Dudu Pokwana na sanoka saxophone.
Hey, all these.
Vangwa na sanoka trombone. Yeah. Liman Khape, kitlele Emil Latima na sanoka the congas.
Yes.
Kitlele every time. And we performed for nothing.
Just to promote raising funds.
Yeah, for Black consciousness.
Incredible. You were caught in the middle of the politics of this country.
I grew up in them.
True.
I grew up in them. They are part of me.
Yeah.
Again, like you are part of me. Like my 20 is part of me.
Yeah.
I met him go airport to go Italy.
Really? Really?
Ne?
Two African men meeting in a foreign country.
Yeah, go Italy. He came to me, he said, Bra Caiphus. And I look at him. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The Molofish soundtrack.
No, I met you before. No, really. I met you before Kieta Molofish, before Kita Mohai. I met you Kiliko States.
Cafe.
Go Italy, go East Germany.
Yeah.
And I landed go Italy to get a plane to East Germany. Yeah, no Tamali group so. Yeah, Yamazul. And then you came to me, because Nalex out say, Barbara Caiphus, was suspicious.
He has carried romantic apartheid.
I think Noluko Galo. Task.
Yes.
And then I knew that. Oh, that's nice. Then I think it's outside Spain. France.
Yes.
France. Now go East Germany. Yeah, go East Germany, go Berlin.
Incredible, eh? do you sometimes still do a lot of work with some of the friends you've made in the States?
No, not that much, but we are in touch.
Yeah.
The person I'm really in touch a lot with Quincy, because I worked more there.
Okay.
And I used to work with Wayne Henderson when he was alive. We used to talk most of the time because I did a lot of work with Wayne. Yeah.
You haven't released an album in 27 years.
Really?
Yes. If this was your last album, then you haven't released an album in 27 years.
You're kidding.
Wow. I like how you say it. It's the length of Nelson Mandela's prison term.
But you know the reason why? It's because, he knows.
Yeah.
It's just the standard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes the type of No. My released into the carnival. Yeah, live.
Well, I'm talking brand new original music.
Even for contracting, when you do a live album, it doesn't become part of the album.
Yeah.
Go over the political version of this.
Yeah. No, I have been very discouraged, but my I'm really discouraged. Giddy into the engineers, right? And the quality, it really drives me insane.
It's not the same anymore.
No, it's not. It's just something which is
Yeah.
not right. So I'd rather not do anything.
You have done work in this facility, in this studio that I bought many years ago.
Yes, I do.
And it makes me happy because what saddens me is that I don't have even a single picture of the people who worked here. And my daughter was sharing with me of the people who've been here. Bontate Masekela, I've been here and so forth. And it pleases me that people like yourself, because when you came in and said, in the big studio, the one outside.
Yeah, the one
outside.
Yeah, that's the one.
And it was a different engineer, Richard Aronson from America. He used to own this facility.
Yes, I know.
And clearly, you talking about the standards. So clearly, there was a different time and different standards.
Yeah, Mutuale, Richard Mitchell.
Yes,
He brought us here.
Yeah,
and until that album. Yeah, later.
Which one is that?
Kulani Nami.
Okay.
Yeah, we did that. Some of the records, some of the songs are nice, and Richard really tried his best. You know? Yeah, the studio was okay.
Yeah.
And then, but until I mean, those the live things. I mean, I was practically inside into
doing things yourself.
Yeah.
I've seen you on stage. Actually, let me ask you this question this way. This is we're concluding. When was your last live performance?
Just before until COVID.
It was, I can tell you, it was on the 1st of Jan in Potchefstroom.
Oh, yeah.
How do I know this? Because I introduced you.
It was you.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I introduced you.
Yeah.
I always look back at it and saying, Sanzu perform happy. That can't be your last, because I was there. I remember that moment so well. I remember you dancing. I'll even show you a video. We'll load the video as part of this, where you were dancing on stage, but you were a taskmaster, and that's what brought this thought to mind. You were saying, that's wrong. Do it this way. Do it. Even on that day.
Yeah.
So you remained not only a performer, but also a composer, even when you're on stage. The guys must get it right.
Yeah. Yeah, they have to. And you have no business to be on stage. That's it. You really don't have any business.
Yeah.
If you're going to ask somebody and say, by the way, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
That's why we rehearse. When I rehearse the guys, I tell them, remember that the song that we're playing now, Matswale, there are people who have bought this song. They've got it. They listen to it in their cars. They listen to it at home. And some of them, they are not musicians like you and I.
No.
But they will know if we don't do it right.
That's it.
They will know.
That's it.
If you don't play that piano exactly there, they will miss it.
Yeah.
And they'll ask themselves, why? Why are you doing that? And if you play something because you think you're so musical, the people are going to be excited.
You're coloring it.
Yeah, you are messing up their song. It's their song. It's not yours. You're not here to please yourself. You're here to please them. They paid money. I tell the band, they paid money to come and watch you. Some of them come as far as from Bloemfontein. And whenever you come here, you play what you like.
It shouldn't be like that.
No, it shouldn't be. You're a servant.
Yeah.
And you give them what they paid for.
Amazing. Will we ever see you live? Ever again?
Yes. With this academy, I have to raise funds.
Oh, yes. Yeah. No, now you have to work. Now.
I have to work. I have to raise funds.
Yeah.
And I hope the people, they'll come out there and see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because also, my performance, I'm looking at youngsters to look at me at my age, at 83. I'll be 84 this year. Even Tate can do that.
Surely we can.
Surely I can do it too.
At his age.
Yeah, because I would like the kids to think that way. If
Yeah.
he can do that, surely I can do it. If he can be a taskmaster and make everything go right, surely I can do that.
And that's where you're going still,
Yes, yeah.
We look forward to hearing you. I know I once inquired and I was told that the Katsi Arena has about me mo stage.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of tired of those songs. But I know the people like it. I remember late Harry Belafonte used to sing. He worked with Miriam Makeba for a long time and with Letta for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I did some arrangements for him as well.
Yeah.
And sometimes he'd be at the show and I have to be there because Pepper Money led. And he would say, hey, every time I have to do Down the Way with the Night, I'm so tired of this song. But I tell you, if I don't do it, the audience, leaves here disappointed.
That's true.
So I have to do it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when you look at it, I've got CDs myself. It's about John Coltrane, Miles Davis, and so on. And about Cannonball. And I look at some of these songs, straight with no chaser. Cannonball with John Coltrane and Miles Davis. This was done in the 60s.
Yeah.
But I still enjoy that.
Amazing.
And I want to hear it exactly the same way.
Yeah.
No, it shouldn't change.
Yes.
It's a song I like. And that's what Harry said to me.
They must do it the same way.
And he says, you can change it a little bit here, maybe on the intro, but they must hear the entire song as they know it.
Jeez.
And once you do that, then they sing with you. The day they stop singing with you, get off the stage.
Yeah. I can't wait to see you on stage. I really cannot. And I think South Africans would love to see you again. And I ask you kindly, give us a few more shows. just another, let me count, give us 50 more shows.
I mean, what's so special about the shows I do? But Boringo Bateng and all these other kids.
You know what's so special about it. Don't downplay it. I think we as South Africans, I say this often, and today I probably mean it more than any other day. For you to be one of us, and to be here now and say you now recognize what you're supposed to do now with your time, with your talent for the young kids, tell the stories, keep the story going. When you said that, I got really emotional because you've agreed to doing it here.
Yeah.
You have no idea. I am arguably one of your biggest fans. I'm sure by now you know that. I have your material. I listen to it. I enjoy it. I play it on the radio. And I even have paintings to show that.
Yeah, I've seen them. They're beautiful.
Yeah. So I say to you, thank you so much. Let me tell you how much time you've given us. 5 hours and 25 minutes. We have done a lot of recording.
And
this has been long.
You can edit, and
we're going to cut very little. Very little.
It could...
My daughter invoice for sitting here.
It could have been 10 hours because, like I usually say, our story is not 5 minutes long.
It's not.
And the most important thing, I'm glad you asked me these questions, because even though my voice is tired now, but I think we owe it to the generations that's coming.
Yeah.
They have to hear this. Because I've seen, for instance, more YouTube. I look at people talk about Miles Davis, and there are people who talk about African Americans. I mean, they talk about Miles Davis, and you see the shine in their eyes, and they give this to their kids, and then their kids go out and sample Bo Miles, Bo Count Basie, Bo Mang, and it keeps them alive.
Well, which brings us to a story you've told so many times over the past few weeks of the AKA story.
Yeah.
And you can say it the way you want, but the simple part of it is a journalist wrote what they wanted.
Yeah, no, he wrote what he wanted. I think he's got a thing, AKA, and he should have said it when AKA was alive.
Yeah.
Because to say I'm knocking at his grave, I'm not that kind of a person.
No.
And for what he did, I mean, I appreciated, for instance, Unalite, he was with me when I saw AKA after he did Matswale. And he came to me and says, Dad, I know. I said, it's not important.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the lawyers have fixed everything. It's fine.
It's sorted.
And he said, but what do you think about the job I did? Remember what I said? I think brilliant.
You loved it.
I said, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
You know.
The Caiphus song, it's called.
He called it the Caiphus song. And we laughed.
Yes.
I laughed. I said, why did you call it the Caiphus song? And we laughed about it.
Yeah.
You know. So for him to say, I'm knocking and I'm suing him, I mean, it's atrocious.
Yes.
You know, it's, and he's such, I don't know, he's a pathetic liar.
And it's so sad.
And really, he shouldn't do that as a journalist.
No, yeah.
Because when I told him a very strong and positive story about when we met, and I said Matwete was there with me when we met with AKA.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful story. If you're a true journalist, you can turn that into a diamond of a narrative.
That. Yes. You can celebrate that moment.
You can celebrate that moment.
Yeah.
When an old man sees the boy who did this, but it was already done.
Yes.
And then we hugged and he said, what do you think? I said, it's perfect.
Yes.
And we laughed. And I said, why did you call it Caiphus song? You should have. He said, no, I had to. And then all of a sudden I'm knocking at his grave. He's knocking at
AKA's
grave. At AKA's grave.
He is. Sad.
Yeah, he should have really just told the truth if AKA did something to him and said this, but he shouldn't say, I said that.
No.
And the thing that really, really pissed me off is to say I'm suing him. Suing him for what? Because what AKA does and what Bozulu Boy did and so many other kids who've done these things, what they do, they introduce you to another audience, a younger audience.
Yeah.
So what
they resurrect the songs.
Exactly.
If they may have slowed down, they bring them up.
They bring them up.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. You know, I'm really
let them do it.
Yeah, let them do it. Yeah. Because when he asked me, he said, what do you think? I usually say to these kids, you know what? It is your moment. You are this generation. Yeah. So if you hear it that way, do it that way.
That's true.
You're the now generation.
Yeah.
And they look at me, sure, Papa. I say, yes. And I mean it.
Yes.
Do it that way.
Interpret it the way you hear it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now.
Yeah, now. Because it's from 20, 30 years ago. Now you do it the way you hear it. Okay? And I'll check it out. And if you mess up, I'll tell you, But most of the time, it's like Zulu Boy also did Ntele, Baraking. Nomalanga. And Sipo, I agree Sipo was the manager. And Sipo comes to me and says, hey, Brake, umamele lentwana kuti yenzeni, kiri yenzeni. Arunomalanga. Ow. I didn't hit the roof like he says I hit. I don't do that. And I said, ow. And he said, but of course, little looks into the publishing. I mean, I don't get involved. Close into that. And then I said, okay, Mamela. And then he did give it to me. He became Mamel. And that boy had did no malanga like into. I mean, he just brought another life to it. I mean, he explained it for those people maybe who did not completely understand what
you were saying.
You see, so how can I be angry at that? Even if he did it. I know there are lawyers who look into this thing with the publishing. They all get together, they negotiate, they come to an agreement, and that's it. I never get involved.
Yes.
Ask him. Ask Matwete.
You've written the music. It's out there.
It's out there. Yeah. It's for the people that I pay in publishing to go and fight. If they think they want to fight somebody, let them. I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
It's incredible, hey? How journalists would write a false narrative.
But it's stupid, though. Because I think, when I looked at the whole thing, I said to myself, here's this young man. I told him, and I said to him, You know, AK is not the only one. There are many, many people who take my songs.
Yeah.
There's a guy, who did There's Music in the Air. Played the whole song, got saxophone, put his name on it. When I listened to it, I looked at his name. I had to shake my head. And I said, there must be something. I've been doing this from the States for a long time.
Yeah.
I know this business.
Yes.
There's no reason to shoot up and go crazy.
No.
There's no reason at all. Call the person.
Yeah.
He meets your people, or if you want to be there. And I asked him, why did you do it? He said, but he's learning a saxophone.
but you didn't create the melody.
Yeah. Yes. I said, he was learning a saxophone. No, I understand. But the thing is that it's my song. The melody is mine.
Yes.
So when we're learning a saxophone, but that doesn't make it yours.
We're learning on my saxophone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Korea.
He didn't know.
No, he didn't know.
Yes.
And I said that to Mishimano.
Yeah.
Maragamlelaka this particular song. There are young men who recording my stuff. And for instance, there's another young man who sent me into the publishing to Michaela sent me a song to Now this guy, you know what? Ngabushia Nomalanga.
Okay.
Right? So normally I say, send it to me if you are not sure. So let me see. And I listen to the thing. David. There was no melody Nomalanga.
In there?
No.
Nothing.
Just Ngabushia Nomalanga.
Just the name.
Just that. So I said, no, you can't take anything from him.
Yeah.
There's no melody. I mean, everybody says that. They're starting,
that's it.
How can you say you can claim
It's like claiming happy birthday.
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
That's right. And the young man was shocked. I said, no, there's nothing. You take nothing from him. I mean, come on.
So you're fair still.
Of course.
You're not a crazy
no, I mean,
who wants money everywhere.
No.
Yeah, you're
painted. This boy shouldn't do that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
And in the first place, I get tagahar.
No.
Okay. And I can bet you maybe
I sit here and we sit here and say Raleboha.
Yeah.
That this Semenya, to us you're more than a hero. And I want and I hope South Africans remember this all the time. The Union of South Africa is an incredible institution for us. And that's why I have it in the center of my pictures there. It's an incredible institution for us.
Yeah.
And the music you've created over the years, your marriage to your wife is one that a lot of people say, how the hell do they pull it off? How the story that we now know of the role that Miriam Makeba has played in your life, in the life of your family in a lot of ways. And
she has.
We sit here and say, we didn't know that.
Yeah.
And that's why I say to you, thank you so much for being a part of our lives.
Thank you.
I DJ and I play your music.
Thanks.
My Matswale remains one of my favorite songs. I say it wrong though. The lyrics steady ring. Kana me Matswale kana iring.
Usike wa mpurala.
Ureke wa mpurala.
Usike
wa mpurala. Keep going, please help me.
Yeah. Me Matswale. Yes. Usike wa mpurala. Mema. Usike wa nkherula.
Wa nkherula. Kitlile
ho wena. Le rana lady. Itlisitse mathata motse wa ka.
Kana o reng, there's a part where you say where mosadi o etsang
mameleng bo.
Yes.
Naledi o ntlhanogetse.
Ehe.
A robale lapeng.
Yes.
O robala nageng. Ke fositse ke nnete ka muisa ga botlhoko.
Look at that. I like that. I say ke fasitse ke nnete. That's how I first heard it.
Oh, yeah.
Corona fasa ko strategi. And then I grow up and hear it properly. It's like, I've been wrong for so long.
No, ke fositse.
Ke nnete. Ka mo isa
Muisa
ha
ha
bohloko.
bohloko.
This is a man who acknowledges his flaws.
Yeah, yeah.
And is saying, I could have created the problem.
Right.
Mare, help me fix this.
Yeah, and then I get a kena mo bridge ke re nna mamutsi wa ka mohatsa ke mo rata ka
pelo ya ka kaofela. Yeah.
Melin tate
Thusang exactly.
Oh, buang
Le naledi.
buang le naledi.
O sa mo rata naledi.
Ya ke sa mo rata mthako wa mo rata rakgadi ya ka na re leta o editse ya
That's funny.
rakgadi shadi are katse wetse ge ke utlwelela pilele ke utlwa ka pelo botlhoko ke re wa rakgadi a re go itse ngwana a buti yaka na re leta o editse ga o opele ka leta ke re ga ke opele ka leta ga ntira se
You just created a story.
ke re ntela bjalo naledi ke ba ke go sofi
Naledi o ke mang?
no ke pina rakgadi re bitsa mabitsana ka bo Angelina
Angelina.
Oh, I see. Why didn't I get him to talk to stem with why is he come to
I know.
And then I would laugh with my aunt.
This has been an amazing pleasure. We look forward to seeing you on stage again very soon. I will make the call, and hopefully you oblige.
Yeah, no, but I really have to. I think I owe it to a lot of the people who've supported me throughout the years for at least if I give up like a staging it well. This is the last show, so we're not worried.
They deserve to hear you say.
Yeah, they deserve to hear me
I
say
retire.
That. I retire, ya no.
Yes.
Ga le mpitsa ke tla opela pina e le nngwe fela.
E pela fela.
E le nngwe hela.
Did you do any work with Thandiswa Mazwai on her last project?
Yes. Yeah. I did. Nakwele generate into Carnival City.
Yes.
You know, and we sang one of Victor Ndlazolona's songs. Yeah, yona ele Vuyane Kaya, Lateti Kwele. That's a song that Victor wrote for the Katzenjama kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the young boys.
Yeah, Zalabalabi Chonga, Zalabalaba.
When you were 14.
Yes.
And you sang it now.
Yeah.
It's over 60, 70 years old.
Agri Levali. They are embedded in me.
Yeah. You're a special man.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
this was a 5 hours, 39 minutes recording. I feel like I'm abusing the elders. But I appreciate it. Matoto Kwatile, Nana Ledina. It didn't happen. We finished recording. We started at 4. We finished recording at 10:15 in the evening. You see what I have to do. But don't thank me. Thank you that they Katsi Caiphus Semenya.
No. I think your audience should know, Lena, I was a willing victim to continue because I think this story has to be told.
Yeah.
Before we close our eyes, because one day Gwangwa used to say we were in the departure lounge.
Yes.
One day, ding dong, Mr. Semenya,
it's time.
Your plane is about to go. So before that happens, audience here.
Yeah. King David Studios.
Yes. Utwamfa. We have to tell the story.
Yeah.
I said, May Abigail, you must call them.
Yes.
Doke house and so on. Yeah. And Abigail then Sansa.
Absolutely.
So that
the story
is can get
the whole picture.
Yeah, so they can have an idea of what happened.
Wow. You had that. Thank you very much. Wow, man. I'm the luckiest man in the world. I'll tell you that. I don't know what I did, but I'll always thank the gods. I like it when there's a part where you said, I I like that phrase.
Yeah.
Because we forget them.
Yeah, meo chile ya no samale ba di.
I know you're married.
Yeah.
And again, need to tsamaile le bona.
Ah, samale le bona. I agree my two grandmothers since ba phela like I told you.
Yes.
Ke ile go Binone ka re kuku ke tsama.
Yeah, married.
Are tsamale ba di ngwana.
And what's for 20 something years.
Yes. Are mtomo tla kra rile. Maro tsamaile ba di ka ya go Phefeni where my father's mother.
Yes.
Kuku ke fitla ka re kuku. Abare before tsamaye re go hapele dinner.
Yes.
And I slept cook Phefeni. I was there for 2 days there. I'm kapela. Nastal mogolo ka kuku ke a thusa re na gats. Kapela. Ile ke tsamaya ke re okay ke tlo tsamaya I think ke tsamaya 3 days after.
Yeah.
Are tsamaya le badimo wana.
Yes. And it's tsamaile le bona.
And ke tsamaya le bona ba buile le nna.
Because you came back very different from the Caiphus that left.
Absolutely.
A very successful musician who left as a ping, ping.
Hey, tell me about it.
Amazing. Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
In that Caiphus, Semenya, I think we're very lucky to have you.
King David Studio Podcast.